Eric Steckling here with head coach Eric Johnson. The Eagles hosting FIU this week here at the Conti Forum. Coach, coming back from a road trip here. Probably not the result you wanted. That last game at BYU, a tough one. Talk about what your team learned on the road.
Well, we knew that was going to be a tough game. BYU is a very good team. They play extremely well at home. They have a 6'7" center. They have a great shooter, and they're just an extremely well-coached team. And I thought they defended us well. We had a small lead early. They went on a run. And you and I were just talking off camera about some of the runs that have defined our games. What's great about our team was we came back, put that game into overtime. But at the end of the day, that 6'7" center on their team, the size, she blocked 7 shots. She scored 28 points, and that was the determining factor in the game.
You guys are going to see height later on in the year. Duke, Carolina, all those players have multiple girls of that height or higher. How does your team adjust to that?
So, I look back at the game plan and I say, there's a few things that I think I would have emphasized differently. I think both Alexa Coulombe and Katie Zenovich, who really have to play the bulk of our post defense, along with Victoria Lesko. I think I assumed a little bit too much carryover from some of the game plans that we did last year, and I moved on to some other things as we're sort of adding to our repertoire of how we defend and the ways we do things. And I look back, we should have gotten back to basics a little bit. So again, I have to accept responsibility for that. They're great kids. They're going to do exactly what I asked them to do. We just needed to be a little bit more detailed in how we took away a strong shoulder or where we brought the helps and some of those things. And so it's a learning experience for them. It's a learning experience for me. But believe me, there was a lot of film watched this week and a lot of good stuff going on in practice. And we'll make sure that we're adjusting.
The offense seems like there's been pretty good distribution. You got 5 players right now averaging double digits. We've had a different leading score every game of the season so far. Can we expect to kind of see this kind of shared offensive role, or do you think someone's going to kind of step into the forefront eventually?
I think you can expect to see that same kind of distribution. I mean, what I think makes us really hard to guard is that we do have shooters all over the court. We talk about having 5 unselfish scorers. And that's what defines us offensively, is that we got 5 kids that have a scorer's mentality, want to put the ball in the basket, but they don't care who scores. And so a lot of it's going to be dictated by how is a team playing us. Are they switching? Are they doubling? Are they playing zone? Are they pressuring certain kids? And so, the great news is that, hey, we're ready, and that's what we work on in practice is, okay, if they're playing us this way, gang, this is what's going to be open. If they're playing us this way, gang, this is going to be open. And if you've got smart, intelligent, unselfish kids, which we do, then we're going to be able to score points. And I think we've done that well.
What's kind of the approach you take facing a team that really one girl's the focus there?
Sure. Well, the good news here is we actually know Jerica Coley very well. So our staff coach at the University of Denver for 4 years before coming to BC, and Florida International was in the Sun Belt with us. She's actually she's the player and the team that knocked us out of the conference tournament our last year at Denver. And so you're right. She shot. I think she shot just under 700 shots last year out of their team's 1,800. Going into last night's game, I know she had 49 of her team's 110 shots. I mean, a huge percentage of their offense goes through Jerica Coley. What makes it harder is with BYU 6'7" center, you know where she's going to be. It's hard to deal with 6'7". With Jerica, she's their point guard. She can also run the wing. She handles the ball. She comes off screen. She penetrates. She shoots. So it's always interesting when the star player is a guard. And how do you adjust? Are you going to guard her with multiple people? Are you going to bring a ton of help and then make maybe some other role players be bigger scorers? And so again, those are kind of the nuances of our game plan that we're working with our team right now on exactly how we're going to be able to mitigate her, just being really, really efficient. The basic idea with a star player like that is make her shoot a low percentage. You may not be able to stop her from scoring 20 points, but if she's 18 for 20, that's going to kill you. If she's 7 for 19, that's not going to be so bad. So how can we make her take difficult shots, push her out of her comfort zone a little bit? We're not going to stop her from scoring, but hopefully we can mitigate her having a great basketball game.
One of your foes down the street, Harvard, played them yesterday. Jerica Coley took 27 shots there, only made about 30% of them. So similar to what you were talking about, Harvard, though, really locked down the defensive intensity in that second half. They were down 9 at the half and then just blew by FIU. Is it the part of the game plan to kind of just slow down the Panthers' frenetic pace?
Yeah, I think certainly their perimeter game was Harvard's emphasis, was let's figure out how to stop. They've got 3 guards that play a ton of minutes. And I think Harvard felt like, hey, let's do a better job in the second half of slowing down the perimeter game, make them score somewhere else. And Harvard also, kicked it into gear offensively as well. And as you know, in basketball, one often, begets the other. So, look, Harvard's a very well-coached team. Certainly we'll be talking to their staff today and sharing ideas. Kelly Cole, who's on their staff, is an old BC assistant that I worked with, and Kathy Delaney-Smith is one of the best in the business. We love sharing ideas. And so, yeah, I'll be interested to hear what Coach has to say to me today.
Coming home, non-conference game it's really interesting this time of year. It's really fun because you see a whole bunch of different styles, different kinds of basketball here. What do you expect your team to learn from this game?
I love this time of year because there are, as you point out, so many ways to play the game. Sometimes in conferences, a certain style of play becomes contagious almost, and people feel like, well, we have to play a certain way because we're in this conference. Honestly, we love being different. We love that we're a hard matchup for a lot of ACC teams, and so it's really good for us to have to play against a BYU that plays one way, an FIU that plays a totally different way, a Stanford, a Hofstra. I mean, Stanford and Hofstra could not have been two more different styles, and for us to have to go from one game to the next and be able to adjust, it's great learning for our staff. It's great learning for our team, and yeah, we love it.